if we do a Google search. So this is a snapshot that I collected. So basically I did this morning, just maybe 30 minutes ago, I did a search for Caricature Artist near Winnipeg, Canada. That's where he's located. And as you can see, this is him searching up, coming in on number 1. So today we're going to be doing a case study on a good friend of mine. Also, we met a while back. His name is Alan Sadine, and he is a artist, caricature artist out in Winnipeg, Canada. Back in August of 2022, he came to me, and well, I reached out to him, and I saw I saw so much potential that he can be doing, that he wasn't utilizing on his website, online. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, I want to help you, and wanted to utilize him and his business as a beta or trial run. So I always like to challenge myself to try to get somebody that has no online presence and really try to get him business. Okay, so basically that was the goal. All right, so what we did was, this was back in August of 2022. He has so many different websites, different domains. He did not have an active Google business profile. He did have a Google business profile, but it wasn't active. It wasn't live, right? He wasn't verified. Like so many entrepreneurs, and I guess people that wants to, as entrepreneurs, we have so many different interests, right? And with him as well, and he has so many different websites. So all he needed to do, just basically, if you are familiar with my blueprint, Free Leads Blueprint, grab that blueprint. Basically, I follow that blueprint for his business. One of the things that we did was his online presence. We just needed to clean up his online presence. And what did that mean? Basically, he needed one domain. He needed to focus on one domain, one website, right? Because he had different website, different domains. And I told him, let's just focus on one website. Make it alansadine.ca, since you're in Canada. And so we got that domain. We got it through his Google business profile. Back then, I think you were able to create it. I'm not sure currently if you're able to. I think that option was taken off. All right, so this is his website, Caricatures by Alan Sadine. This is a website that he was able to get through his Google business profile, and is pretty much just free. But I'm not sure at this time and stage if you're able to get this or not, because I don't remember seeing that option. But nevertheless, this is what we did back in August of 2022. It was trying to get his old Google business profile up and running was a little more complex, because I'm not sure what happened. I mean, I think he created it, but he wasn't able to verify it. When I looked at his Google business profile, his ability to make it verified wasn't there. And so rather than spending the month or two trying to get it up and running, I said, Alan, let's just create a new Google business profile. And if we're able to, because I thought getting a new one would be a lot quicker, right? And so eventually we got that up and running, and then eventually we got one of them verified. Fast forward, April, May of 2023, which is currently today. If we do a Google search, so this is a snapshot that I collected. So basically I did this morning, just maybe 30 minutes ago, I did a search for Caricature Artist near Winnipeg, Canada. That's where he's located. And as you can see, this is him searching up, coming in on number 1. So I'm going to just do the same thing. I'm going to do Google search because results speak for itself, right? So Caricature Artist near Winnipeg, Canada. So as you can see, according to this, there's 24 million results. Now, that's not on the local results, but that we're talking about results globally as well. Those are things that are underneath here. But main thing for Alan was that we wanted to get him coming up number 1 search. And that's, he wasn't coming up in number 1 search when we previously did it, but he's now coming in number 1. As you can see, he has 64 reviews, and he's got number 1 placing. As a result of this, I messaged him the other day, and I asked him, did you get any inquiries? And he got them via email, and he got three inquiries, and I got clarification from him. So those are inquiries that people have sent an email through his Google Business Profile that asked for inquiries. And so right now he is doing what's called Wonder Shows. Wonder Show is where he has a tent or booth in this thing called Wonder Shows, and they go around Canada to it's like a carnival, and they go to various venues in different places. And so he's busy doing that, and so he had to turn down these three inquiries. I got an email from him the other day. An email, so he got from Google Business Profile. Said basically saying, "Hey, you did a good job." So pat in the back, right? And so as a result, last month he got 13 interactions, and he's getting views and searches. And so every single businesses are different, right? When it comes to getting more leads, getting more reviews, right? One of the things that I talk about in the free leads blueprint is one of the reasons why I created that ebook is how do we get clients and customers to hand over, how do we attract them, and how do we, get them to, how do you rank so that people come to you? In his situation, the goal was, I sat down with him and I said, what would you like to try to achieve, right? Just like in my blueprint, most businesses, you need to start collecting and start an email database, email list, right? And so his number one goal was to start an email list. Number two was to get reviews, right? He may not have thought of that, but I know from just from experience with, if you want to start attracting local business around your local area, you need to start generating reviews through your Google Business Profile. And so that was the two important goals that we need to achieve, is to start collecting their email address, and number two is to get reviews on his Google Business Profile. What was the solution from, trying to achieve that? Just based on what he's doing, a lot of times when he's at these wonder shows, right? And this is when he's at various events drawing, this is an opportunity for him to get name and email address from his customers, right? Because in his case, he doesn't have an email list, and he doesn't have a system in place to collect the email address. And so what we did was we sat down and said, hey, you know what? You got to start collecting their name and email address, and you're going to have to start asking them for reviews. Basically, a QR code. QR code is going to direct them to a form on the website, or form on, in our case, he's utilizing our platform, which I'm coming out shortly. It's called Pro 360. In my free leads blueprint, so if you look at my pillars number 1 and 2, right? So when I look at the pillars 1 and 2, this is the first two pillars, right? Because he's at the very beginning stage. And so pillar number 1 is to, have a lead magnet, have an email text message set up, an online presence. We accomplished this, and we sort of accomplished these two. The lead magnet he does have, in the sense that he has created a website. The email and text message setup is that, in the interim, it's more important for us to start collecting name and email, and we'll worry about the setup of how do we automate that process of sending out an email or text message after we start collecting them. All right. So I said, forget about that. Let's just focus on collecting name and email. Okay. And then as we're building pillar number 2, as we're doing and creating a review automation, and then setting up his Google Business Profile and optimizing it. And so that's what we did at the venue where, let's just say he's at the Wonder Show, let's just say, right? And after they're finished, done drawing. So what he did was he created a poster or something like that, and basically has that out. And so after they are done with drawing, he would ask them and share their experience by leaving them a review. Let's just say I'm going to take this phone. Everybody has a phone, right? And so you can use a camera, the camera app on any phone, and you could point. I'm pointing it actually because I have a screen over here, and then it'll open up in Chrome. QR code takes them to a link that we've set up, that was set up, that takes them to this form. And so basically, when they collect a name and email, it goes into his email database, which is built on Pro360, which is the CRM that we've in the process of creating. And so this takes them through a process, and then ultimately it asks for a rating. So if you look here, scan the QR code, enter your name and email, rate your experience, and then write a positive review and post a photo. As a result of that, he's gotten 64 reviews. And the other thing that he does so well is that when people write the reviews, he's very diligent about this, is that he responds to those reviews diligently. And it's amazing that out of the 64 reviews, I would say that he has responded to all of them, because ultimately, basically, what we said was, hey, Alan, it's important that you respond to those reviews promptly and diligently, because Google looks at that as engagement, right? If you look at other social media platforms, engagement, what is engagement? It's when people respond to text message, Instagram posts, when people respond or saves those Instagram posts. So those are kind of engagements on other social media platforms. And in the case of Google Business Profile, engagement is responding to people's reviews. And then the other thing that he does so well is photos. He has 229 photos. When we initially started optimizing his Google Business Profile, we uploaded a bunch of photos, but we've also coached them on how to put photos on his Google Business Profile so that it's optimized, because Google looks at photos as one of the ranking factors when it comes to his local ranking. And so he's doing a lot of the things to help not only get more reviews, but also to get more leads. And how? Basically, when people are searching for artists, Caricature Artist near Winnipeg, Canada. Now, does he do other things? Yes, right? However, when we're looking at his, I'm not going to go into the performance of his Google Business Profile, because that's one of the things that we would do to further optimize his Google Business Profile, is by looking at his performance and then figuring out what are the keywords that people are searching for that he's showing off for. Okay, so that's all part of optimizing his Google Business Profile. How to collect more leads and how to get more reviews, right? And so every business is going to be different. Maybe you have a business that already has a bunch of clients. It's so much difficult to try to get reviews after the fact. It's best when you're physically present with your client or customers at that time to get reviews. Is it difficult after? Is it possible? Yeah, it is possible, but the percentage of the reviews that you're going to get is probably less, as opposed to when people are actually there at the present time. So right now with Alan, we're trying out different testing which way that he would get more reviews by different wordings. Is it possible to send them directly to the Google reviews? But if you do that, then he doesn't have the opportunity to collect the name and email. And so you want to try to create less barriers, but in order for him to collect their name and email, he had to create that form. We had to create that form, so that way the next step would be to go to the Google business, the Google leads, right? So yeah, so there are different ways to approach this, but ultimately his goal is achieved, and so we're just testing different things to see what works and what doesn't work. Until next week, bye now.